Hey friends, coming to you from the woods again. Bee is beside herself. January is the first full month of winter, and we are experiencing a mild January, considering it was -10 on Christmas Eve. It is very strange. It is 51 today, and I still have my winter coat on. I don't have my full down to my ankle winter coat. But it's chilly in the woods, and it can be a little breezy. I don't have on my insulated pants, just regular jeans. I do have my boots on, because I always wear my boots in the woods. And I thought I'd take this time to talk about change. So, we've been taught in our society to fear change, that change is a bad thing, to go against the norm, to not fit in. You're labeled different, strange, weird, abnormal, bucking the system, right? It's a negative thing. But it's funny. So the more that I've not been afraid to be labeled different, oh, listen to that, the more things have changed in the way I see things. And this change is growth. Right? So the only constant in life is change. And as we look to Mother Nature and study what she does, where I live in the Northeast, in New York, we typically have 4 seasons. The last few years it's been a little weird. But Mother Nature changes all of the time. I mean, Bee and I were here for the solstice. So that was 2 weeks ago. And it was very quiet. There were no birds. But today, I don't know if you could hear it over bees panting and the crunching of the leaves, but there's a lot of bird song today. It's mild. More animals have come out. I don't know if we'll see deer today or chipmunks or squirrels, because Bee usually scares them away with her breathing heavy because she's so excited. She cries the whole way to the park. It's only 5 minutes, but she cries the entire way because she's just so excited to get here. But anyway, sidebar. So back to change. Why be scared of change, right? Like, change can't hurt you. Change can be a good thing. The idea of changing your perspective, changing what you believe, may actually benefit you rather than harm you, like you've been taught to believe. So like Bruce Lipton talks about this, about how these belief systems, these programs are ingrained in our brains by age 7. They are not our own, because by age 7, you would be a blank slate other than the people around you who are ingraining in you the belief systems, the ideas that are ingrained in them. So even though it looks like things appear a certain way, because we live in a dualistic society of black and white, right? There's always extremes. There is no gray. Gray does exist on the color wheel. Gray exists in life. And to think that change needs to always be bad makes it even scarier, right? The unknown is scary. Things that are different are labeled scary and they're labeled bad. But it doesn't need to be that way. If we can be open to different ideas, to new beliefs, new programming that is more about togetherness rather than separateness, is more about appreciating the differences in people, appreciating the uniqueness of what everyone has to give, right? And Mother Nature does this. She appreciates the differences, the different species of trees. Sure, some will thrive more than others, right? It's the survival of the fittest in Mother Nature, and feels like that in the last few years. So this video is more of a reminder that you can question your beliefs because they were not yours, probably weren't your parents. And again, it's something that is just passed down onto us and is taken to be what it needs to be. This is how it will always be. This is how it needs to be, and this is what we need to do. This is what's right and what's wrong. But who is this collective that gets to decide what's right and what's wrong for everybody, right? So as long as you're not harming other people, how can you be wrong in the way you're living your life? And, I don't really follow the mainstream anymore. I go and I do what's best for me, and I advocate for people to do what's best for them. And that's what Mother Nature does. She does what's best for her, regardless of what people want her to do. Did I want it to be minus 10 degrees on Christmas Eve? No, but it was okay because I didn't need to be out in it, right? Fortunately, Bee didn't have to go out. Bee kept going out. She loved it. But I wasn't going out in that. I didn't have enough layers for that. So this video is really about a reminder, permission to question what is, to question what you've been told, to have the ability, the flexibility to welcome in change, not begrudgingly, not with fear, but with the knowing that there's something bigger than us, that Mother Nature changes all the time, day to day. Bee and I changed today. We took a different path, a path we don't usually take because it's a lot longer. And I get tired easily. So I decided to change it up today because we don't really have any other things that we need to do. We kind of can have this time for ourselves. And people will be really tired later. So when I have meetings this afternoon, she will be sleeping and not wanting to throw toys at me as I'm on the meeting. So I think it's important to remember that just because something looks a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that's how it's always going to look. That's how it's always going to be. That's how it's supposed to be, right? To a reminder, permission to allow change to occur, to be open to change, to be able to be resilient with what comes at you, to have skills, coping skills to deal with whatever may happen. Because if you don't have good, you don't know what bad is, and vice versa. If you don't experience bad, you don't know what good is. But you can also practice being in the in-between, between the good and the bad, and seeing what that feels like. Being in the gray, not being in the extremes. And respecting that for the wisdom that is there. So I'm not really sure what I said today. Kind of went off on a few tangents. I wanted to emphasize that even if it looks like nothing is happening, or if you're frustrated and you want change, you want things to be different, just remember to look at Mother Nature and that every day looks different. I come to this park all of the time, and even if Bee and I take the same trail every single time, it looks different. There's different noises, there's different smells, there's different sounds, there's different views. Things always change. And Mother Nature doesn't buck the system. She just continues to be flexible and to change with it. She allows for the change. She bends and moves with the storms. If you were to cut this tree down, you would see the years that there was drought and the years that there wasn't. Because Mother Nature, throughout the years, has learned to be resilient. Even with all that we've done to her. Even with all the damage, the pollution, the 5G, the radiation, the chemicals, she still thrives. She still survives. And that is the beauty the lesson that we can learn from her. If you guys like this video, please hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Say bye, Bee.